when I came to the desert of Australia at the age of 29, I was at night alone underneath not only the stars, but I stood within the galaxy. Have you ever been in the desert at night? So I would say, please send all your employees once a year to the desert because, because all the thoughts, everything faded away, and I stood in this amazing light. I never ever experienced that before. And this was absolutely a turning point within my life. So I have a life, first life and a second life after this. And this threw me into the biggest crisis I ever had. So I came back into Switzerland, and one of my colleagues, she whispered that time, I mean, this is 30 years ago, she whispered and said, I went to an astrologer. And I said, where? I have to go. And when this woman interpreted my chart, my personal chart, I haven't seen it before, I knew from inside, that's it. And since then, I follow not only the stars, these are the planets, and you see, this is so exciting. I look from the point of energy, and that what follows is the form. It's always the energy, it's the first step. And the form, what we are doing, what we are practicing, of if we go this or that way, this is our own decision. And the composition of how the planets are interacting is completely different. Each moment is different. This hour is different than the other one because of the different speeds. You know, we have the planets like Mercury, Venus, and Mars. They're speeding very fast, and they are related to our personal life. And then we have, and this is very important now, what I'm talking about, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They're so far out in the outer space, and they're so slow. And if they move our collective consciousness. And so this, I discovered, is my office. And today I invite you to expand your sight into my office, that we go here through these possibilities which are waiting now for the next step of human mankind, because everything is moving. Everything is moving. And the way the planets move is an extraordinary time when we look ahead, what is coming up. Remember all the time, it's about energy. Everything is energy, and the energy will shift, especially, and this had never ever been happened before in human mankind, when those very, very slow planets like Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, they move all three within a very short time into next signs. That means in 25, the year of 25 and the year of 26, they will move into new signs, and there will occur this kind of blue triangle. And that blue triangle at the stars, at the sky, a blue triangle is beautiful. So doesn't matter what happens at the moment. Also the pandemic, this was all a preparation for an absolutely new way of coming together in a collective way, and especially in the years of 25 and 26, and there will be a peak point in 27. So this is how they move all together. And the important thing about this is when they move to another sign, especially the energy of Pluto means total transformation, completely transformation. It means death and birth. And the energy of, we call it Aquarius, this is the Aquarian energy, it's the energy of the higher we. And this will be prepared at the moment and will come into shape at the beginning of the time of 25 until next 20 years, until 2044. So there's a huge shift of coming together in a new way, how we co-create especially. And one thing about, you don't have to know anything about the stars or the planets, but you will feel the energy. And the energy will shift, and this is very important, from air, no, from earth and water. Earth are the green signs like Capricorn and Taurus, and water are the blue signs like Pisces. And they will move from earth and water. These are so very intrinsic energies and female energies, to air and fire in the years of 25 and 26. And air and fire are very strong going forward. This is an amazing power, like we had this morning when we were introduced by the music, when the fire, when the spark is coming out, and you go forward and you have energy and you have new ideas, and the direction is clear and you want to manifest. And this is a high speed of energy which will start in a very short time. And this means we will shift into a complete new dynamics. So please, you can put it all right now in your agenda 25 and 26, whatever you plan for. Now we do here the preparation. And the pandemic was the preparation for a completely new air and fire energy for the next years. And so what does it mean? When Pluto shifts into the Aquarian sign, this begins the beginning of gigantic networking. And I'm so happy, Christine, that you did this work, this wonderful work for the last 25 years, because now it starts for the mass. And you as a pioneer, you prepared this. We go to the higher we come together as one. All the communities, you know what communities are? Communities are come together as like-minded people, and this will be the new paradigm of the new time. The communities does not mean that you have to say hello and have to love everybody, but you come together as like-minded, and there creation is coming through everybody. So creativity and co-creation will be the biggest innovation part of the next years until 2040, 2050. So what we can see it's like at the moment, we expand our consciousness. And how can we see it? We expand into space. Like Elon Musk is going up with his Starlinks, the NASA is going to Mars and to Venus, and we expand our consciousness. And I'm very happy to see that, especially the young people, but also the elder one, they're more and more interested in these circumstances of outer space, of astrology, because we want to create, we want to know what energy is in the field, and we are the energy. The energy is moving through our bodies. That means the next years we will expect a lot of many jobs when Pluto come into the next sign of Aquarius. Neptune, very briefly, very short, Neptune is the energy of love. And when Neptune starts to come into Aries, this is a complete new way of accelerating spiritual development. Spirituality becomes normal. So I'm very excited about this when you see that the love aspect, the spiritual aspect, becomes more and more also part of companies and also between people. Maybe also we will decode the DNA. There's so many things about this. And the last one, the Uranus is the energy of electricity, of intuition. When Uranus comes from Taurus to an air sign called Gemini, then we really start to communicate with telepathy. New ways of communication between man and woman, mankind, all around the world, but also in outer space will start, and we will have new, big visions for the future, and the whole technology will speed up. We have no idea how much this will accelerate. So be prepared. That's that's here. So I go in. Be prepared, and you see these circles, they come together as a blue one, and this blue is really a wonderful time of understanding of those who are going forward and embody the spiritual aspect. So are you ready as a spiritual leader to create a new world of cooperation with a lot of technology, but as well with a lot of spiritual, grounded information? And where do I go? I think this is one of the most important challenges at the moment. Also, the pandemic showed us it's now about to make a kind of a choice. Which timeline do you go? Which timeline do you want to manifest? Because all this energy, and now at the moment, it's because of the huge possibilities which are coming up with fire and air. Do you choose the way of, we call it the so-called 3D Earth? It's about ignorance, it's about lack, it's about fear. Do you go with the fear aspect? Or do you choose the other part, the other way? It's a love aspect. It's knowledge, it's abundance. Yes, and it's peace and love. You bring it into the system. And so we create two new other worlds. Or maybe not other worlds, but a new world. And this is the 5D, five-dimensional Earth. And this is based on love, on communication, on the higher we. That means also stay present. Stay always in your body and come from here. Not think about the future. And I say this especially as an astrologer, don't think about the future, but stay present. Feel what comes up inside and find out what kind of decision you want to make now, because you know the rule, the cosmic rule of cause and effect. Find out the right causes. Set clear, very clear intentions, because the frequencies are getting faster. With air and fire, the frequencies are so fast you haven't thought, and it's already manifested. So be aware what you want to manifest. Stay within your body. And the frequency, you can find it on the internet, of Mr. David Hawkins, the Scala of Consciousness. And you can see the very, very low consciousness is the consciousness of contraction, is shame. And the highest is enlightenment. And there you expand. And we are on the way to expand. And gone very shortly, now in 2022, we have this amazing constellation. This is you can see the rhythm. All is about rhythm, and I talk about this on my channel, on my YouTube channel, between Saturn and Uranus, and they came together as the energy of Saturn is control and the past and the lockdowns. It's the stop. And Uranus is the energy of future, of freedom and of innovation, and they in a very strong tension. And this circle starts in 1988. You all know what happened at that time. The Cold War stopped that time. The Berliner Mauer, the wall of Berlin, started to break down, and so on. We have some rhythms here, and one of those peak points at the moment was the pandemic. And so the energy will shift into another way, into another direction. And now in March 23, this is very important, the very first time Pluto will touch the new energy. This means the new frequency of the higher we will come into our life for the first time. Then it goes back to Capricorn, and in 2024, he will shift into the next, so the signs. So you see, we never ever had this in our history before, these huge changes, and everybody is invited. And as well, in July next year, 2023, the destiny, the so-called destiny of mankind, not just only your only one, but of mankind will shift, because we have a node, it's called the North Node, and the North Node will shift from Taurus at the moment. Taurus is about financial affairs, is about agriculture at the moment, is about values. There we have to grow for the moment, but next year in July 2023, the North Node will shift to a sign of Aries. And Aries is not only warrior energy, but it's spiritual energy, spiritual warrior energy, that we can start to create completely new world. So, and I will see if I time's up, I see, okay. But you see, we have a very, very important time ahead, and it's so important that the technology aspect is coming so strong into our world with this Aquarian energy frequency, but this is all about digitalization. Everything what we can digitalize will be digitalized. That means for us, stay grounded, stay always grounded, stay within your body, and then you can play the music of the stars within your body and bring it together in a world of nature. And this is nothing new, but this will become very, very, very important. And those who will transport this is the new generation of the new millennium. I talk about this on my YouTube channel, but this millennium, young men and women, they were all born at the beginning of 1991, 1992. And these young people have possibilities we never ever had. And we have here new groups of from South Korea, BTS, or here Ed Sheeran, 5 billion views on one video. They're talking to so many people. This is completely new, different consciousness. Here, Kylie Jenner, she is the first America's billionaire at the age of 22. We have no idea what these young people will create in the future. And they are those who will shape the new future. So please beware and hold this space for these young people, because I tell you what, we can count them when they were born, especially those who are in shape of this Aquarian subject. They are 2,210,000,000 young people. At the moment, they are aged 10 to 26. They will tear us into their future. So, and they will not seeking for status anymore like we, but they will improve the world with new ideas. So I invite you to move together to a new dimension, and we all are prepared for this. Thank you.